guys from the SLI Show, the channel for vegan fitness recipes and tips. And today we're making a triple chocolate protein bar. Vegan, super delicious, very easy. Let's get started. So the first step, the good thing is it's super easy to remember. As a base, many times I use dried nuts and dried fruits, and it's equal parts. So that's super easy. 1 cup of almonds, 1 cup of dates. And I chose dates because they work really well when it comes to chocolate. So all I'm doing is I'm adding them to a food processor, and the same with the almonds. Now you can also do it with a blender, but the blender is sometimes too strong and I want to have a little bit of a chunky texture still. So that's why I'm using a food processor instead of a blender. So now all I'm doing is I'm blending them up until they start to stick together, but then it's super fine. So basically you know it's ready when you do the squeeze test and you just press it together and you can already feel that it sticks together very well. And now all I'm doing is I'm combining all of the ingredients in a mixing bowl. So first adding the date almond mixture. So now we're adding the remaining ingredients. So as always, a pinch of salt just to bring out the flavor. I'm using sea salt, and then 1 tablespoon of cacao nibs in order to get a little bit of a crunchy texture. And like I said, it's a triple chocolate protein bar. So 1 tablespoon of cacao nibs, 1 tablespoon of raw cacao powder, and then also 1 cup of chocolate flavored vegan protein powder. And the one that we're using is Nutri Plus. We've been using them since 2.5 years, since my brother and I became vegan. And they've been so kind to sponsor us for these videos. So that goes in there as well. And then in order to make a smooth protein bar that doesn't get stuck in your throat, because I think we all know that feeling when you buy a protein bar and it's just so dry, really annoying. And that's why we're adding 1 tablespoon of coconut oil. And you can see the coconut oil is firm right now because it's winter here in Germany, but because of the heat of your hands, when you start to work with the sort of dough, then it starts to warm up, it becomes liquid, and then in the end it makes a really smooth protein bar. So now get your hands in there and start to mix everything up. Depending on what kind of dates you buy, they can have a lot of moisture in and be very soft, or they can be very dry. And it turns out the ones that I had are a little bit dry. So in that case, in order to get some of that moisture back, in order to make them stick, I actually have to add a little bit more coconut oil. Not ideal for the macros. So if you can, try to get the soft and moist dates. But if you have the other ones, then just add a little bit more coconut oil. Actually, what you can also use instead of the coconut oil, you can also just add a splash of water. And that also adds a bit of the moisture, just in case if you have some dry dates. So now it starts to become more firm. If it's something like this, you can almost press it into a dough, but it's still a little bit crumbly. Then it's pretty much the ideal texture. Because don't worry about the crumbliness, we're going to press it very firmly into a food container, put it into the fridge, and then it's really going to firm up. So don't worry about that. And this already smells really good. It smells so much like chocolate. So I'm pretty excited to eat this later. So what we're doing now is adding them to a rectangle shaped food container. And now all you do is you press it very firmly inside the food container. Squeeze it really hard. So now you can already see this has been pretty much firmed up right now, even before we put it into the fridge. So actually if you have a form like this, or if you even have the same food container, but it's a little bit smaller, then you can just press it down like this, and that way you won't have your knuckles all over the dough in the end, and it just looks a little bit more smooth. So just cover it, put it into the fridge for minimum 4 hours, ideally overnight, and then in the next day you can just cut it into bars, and then you have some delicious high protein chocolate flavored protein bars.